Newcastle United set to get a brand new stadium regardless of the location. Let's get to it. Welcome everybody to NFC Talk TV. My name is Chris, the American Mag. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to over 100 likes as quickly as we can. Please hit the like button right now because we got breaking news. And according to Luke Edwards and The Telegraph, they're telling us right now that their exclusive is Newcastle United considering massive redevelopment. And by the way, we're going to talk about this in the late night show with the guys. So massive redevelopment of St. James's Park and surrounding area. So let's pay attention to this real quick, because we have mentioned before what they reported to the fans that they're looking to rebuild St. James's Park, and fans took that as well rebuild a little more over 60 plus thousand seats, and then that's it. So fans weren't really too happy. What about the state of the art stadium that we wanted? What about the really, the new stuff, the massive upgrade? You could only get that if you move to a different location. If you move to Leazes Park, if you move even to the anywhere else farther from the city center, and people weren't too happy about that. People weren't too keen of moving anywhere if it wasn't for Leazes Park. And I myself said I think the only available option for us to get a brand new stadium and stay in the city center would have to be moving on to Leazes Park. But obviously, there has been conversations, there has been talks about the council they haven't even held conversations with Newcastle United, and they have been asked nothing, no approach from Newcastle, from the football club, and so that helped me understand that I don't think that this is going to be good as far as if they haven't had any conversations, that has to mean that they're not interested in really putting the new stadium at Leazes Park, or at least it doesn't seem that way, because you would expect that they would have held these conversations already. Well, what's happening right now is this: that the proposals are far grander than initially thought. With multi-purpose venue and overhaul of city center under consideration, right here, as you see from the Telegraph. So if we scroll down, it says the Newcastle United are looking at a complete rebuild of St. James's Park rather than just an expansion, rather than just adding a couple of more thousand seats that are not really that life changing, if you will. That they're looking at a more substantial change to where they actually build a state of the art stadium where it stands, if the new location doesn't fit what PIF want. It's an option. Like I said, I still think that Leazes Park it would be the ideal location. And we've seen those pictures of Leazes Park, their Leazes Park Stadium, and all that stuff, those AI pictures. And at this point, it's just, because of the console, it just might not happen. However, I'm going to show you a picture that they put on this where we could see some changes to St. James's Park. All right. So, and it's a part of a major redevelopment of the surrounding area that would bring far more than just a new football stadium. Although there has long been talk of desire to expand St. James's Park, the proposal being considered is far more ambitious and would involve the construction of a purpose-built, state-of-the-art stadium on the existing location. Now, all of this seems like we are going to rebuild on top of what's already a stadium. We would change all the seats, repaint, remodel everything to a state-of-the-art, become a state-of-the-art stadium. Added more seats. You would have to redevelop the parking area surrounding St. James's Park, especially I believe on the Leazes end, and as well as we will show you a picture here in a minute where they would do that. So you have to expand that. I still don't think that there's a lot of room to maneuver, but they seem that they can do it according to this report. Because the earlier report, it just basically said it was a rebuild and not much more than that if they stay in the current location. Well, this new report by Luke Edwards in the Telegraph is telling us that regardless if we stay in the same location, this is going to be a far better thing than just adding more seats to it. Um, the Telegraph Sport can reveal for the first time that should Newcastle decide to stay at St James's Park rather than move to a new site, which remains under consideration, by the way. So keep that in mind. The project is far grander than one initially thought. Rather than adding extra seats, the idea would be to completely reconstruct their home and not merely rebuild, expand and modernize the Gallagher end and the East End. That is why the estimated cost for the scheme could be as high as £1 billion. A capacity of around 65,000 to 70,000 is thought to be possible. And that is one of the, if you look at it in that negative way, that if you rebuild in the current location, it might just go up to 70,000. Some people are wanting 80. Some people are wanting even 100,000. I don't know if we can fill 100,000. Let me know in the comment section if you think we can fill in 100,000 seat stadium. That is a lot of seats, man. That is a lot of people. Could we do that? I think 70 easy. And I think even up to 80. I think we can fill 80. I think we can fill 80. But that might not be possible if we stay. So that might be one thing that you don't like about staying in the current location. Now, sources have told the Telegraph that whatever the final decision is, which is expected to be made public early next year, the new stadium will be a state-of-the-art, multi-purpose venue and will include additional redevelopment of the city center area. So this is far more than just the stadium, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to take a look at a picture that's coming up next. How is that possible? It's just tough. So I need you guys that go there all the time. You guys that live and breathe St. James's Park on a weekly basis. I need you to give me your input right now because it's tough for me to see some of these expected changes, even if we stay at the current location, are tough to imagine. But then again, I'm not there all the time, and I don't know the details specifically on how we can do it. And moving forward, right here it says, a source explained, in quote, it will be part of a massive redevelopment. It won't just be a new stadium. It is thought that should Newcastle elect to stay at St. James's Park, which will need the council to grant an extension of the leasehold, that's very important, which only has 70 years left to run, so we got a long time, but still gotta renew it. The stadium could possibly be moved away from the Grade 8 listed buildings behind the East End to create more room. Look at that, interesting. So that's what they would have to do right there. The stadium could possibly be moved away from the Grade 8 listed buildings behind the East End to create more room. So there you go. Look at the picture right there in front of you. So the areas set that you can redevelop are going to be the Gallagher end and this part right here of Leazes. But also important that I apologize. The expanding St. James's Park is problematic as it's boxed in by listed. I can't read that part. I don't know what it says down there, but there you go. So I don't know how they can even extend much more. They would have to. I think that they're going to rebuild this part right here, this parking lot area. So what? The stadium is going to follow this shape right here. I mean, I believe this green space is part of the Leazes Park, so you can do that. I think you couldn't go on this side of the this part right here with my cursor. I don't think you can expand anymore because of the sunshade that you would basically put on these listed buildings right here. So my question is, if the stadium goes up and it provides permanent shade, I guess you could say to these listed buildings, is that a crime? Is that not allowed? I mean, explain to me. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know, but so that's why I need people to help me understand that. So that's what the Telegraph right there tells us. I mean, the metro station is right here as well. So I don't know. I didn't think you could really upgrade the Gallagher end, but now what if, because we're looking at rebuilding, right? We're looking at trying to maneuver what we already got. However, why is there an option that they could tear the stadium down and rebuild a new one with far more people, with far more seats from the ground, rebuild the pitch and everything? Now that would have to that would cost us to have to move somewhere and have to play it somewhere temporarily. The closest stadium is the Stadium of Shite, and I don't know. I really don't know if we want to do that. If that's even feasible for the fans. So let me know if you would be up for tearing down St. James's Park and building a new one. I think that would put a dagger in people's heart. To be honest, if we ever were to do that. But actually, talking about these changes right here, let's take a look at it again because I want you to read right there. So part of the rebuilding process would be to get more to build a state of the art stadium within St. James's Park. The current one says that would require to knocking down the multi-story car park in the corner behind the Milburn stand. So this is the Milburn stand. So this would be part of that car park right there that they would have to tear down, and Leazes End as well. So all of this. So basically all of this right here. See that's what I was saying. Tear all this down. But where would people park? That's the thing. Where would people park their vehicles? The players, the people that work in the club, everybody else. Where would it be? Um, it would also require the realignment and reconstruction of the Barrack Road, a busy thoroughfare through the heart of the city, leading to the center. But these are some ideas being floated which would enable St. James's Park to be completely reimagined. And it would be a similar type of project to the one that Tottenham Hotspur embarked on when building their new stadium. However, the Telegraph Sport can also reveal that although there has been plenty of internal discussions about a new stadium and the options available should they move, the council, who would have to grant planning permission, would not have not been involved. The underlines the fact that the construction phase of the project is still a long way off. So they have not. The council has not been talked to or anything like that at this moment in time. Moving on this article says it would also appear to be particularly significant given fresh impetus that has given to the idea this week, initially revealed by the Telegraph, that Newcastle are also contemplating building a purpose-built new stadium behind the current location on the site of the Victorian era Leazes Park. But then again, they haven't been contacted. I just at this point in time, I wonder if PIF is not really interested to deal with, that type of stuff. They basically are people that says, you know what, here's the money, take it or leave it. And I don't know. I just don't know that you can move these people with money. To be honest, I've said this before, and I keep saying it again. I think that if you are smart, put football aside, if you are just a smart person that cares for Newcastle, that cares for Newcastle upon Tyne, in the city center, in the businesses, in the buildings, in the people, in the workers, you have to understand that this new stadium right there will, and let me tell you again, will just simply generate a lot of money that you don't want to lose. And PIF will generate their money. Trust me. PIF will generate their money. If you think about it, and the fans will follow the tune wherever they go. Simple as that. If they move it to anywhere, to the metro station, anywhere, to the metro station is right there actually. But regardless, if they move it anywhere, tune fans will follow Newcastle. So the fact that the stadium will be filled, it will. Um, Also, to be honest, people will complain, but regardless, people will go to the stadium and they will fill it up and they will add season ticket. You will get people with season tickets and they will do it. And so the people upset will just last for days and weeks, and some won't be able to get over it. However, PIF will generate their money. That's not the problem. So that's why I don't think that they're really scared of moving the stadium. But I do understand that they understand what it means to the city, And so I mean, I'm assuming they're trying to do everything possible to do it, but I don't know that they want to deal with the council. I don't know that because obviously they have proven to be stubborn as well. I think they've said that they haven't been reached by the club yet. They will be open to sit down and have conversations and advise the club on what to do. And again, I don't think PIF wants to be advised of anything. I think what they want to do is, are you okay with us building here a brand new stadium from the ground up with all the venues and all the accommodations? Are you yes or no? And if they say no, well, then I don't think PIF will bother too much. To be fair, listen, everybody's got their reasons. Let's remember here that Leazes Park is a part of a protected conservation area, and it would be a controversial purpose to build on a historically significant green space in the heart of the city, and would need the approval of the council to grant planning permission. So the thing here is pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple. In the United States, for people in America, it would be like New York as a concrete jungle. New York City, it would be like any New York team to say, I want to build a stadium in Central Park. You couldn't. It's a list. It's just basically like like that. You couldn't build nothing on there. It's the only green space that New York City has, and it's historic. And for somebody to come and build a stadium on it, you got to put that in consideration as well. I always try to put myself in each specific side and understand what's happening. And I think building on Leazes Park could have that impact on some people. Just imagine somebody building anything on Central Park. It just would never be accepted. Now, with that being said as well, New York City lives of many other things, and has many other attractions. Can we say the same thing about Newcastle upon Tyne, in the city part of it? Can we say that others are bigger attractions, and you have other stuff that I think that Newcastle United Football Club is the biggest attraction of the city center, especially on match days. And just because you will jeopardize those businesses, you will jeopardize those people trying to make that money. So it is interesting, but right now is the farthest information that we got from the Telegraph is that Newcastle are looking to build a new stadium regardless of their location. We're going to discuss more on the late night show. If you miss it, you can go on and watch it on replay, but don't miss it live every night at 9 p.m. UK, live with the panel to debate this topic of discussion. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, folks. Bye-bye.